Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is April 3rd, 2023, and WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania goes Hollywood weekend. Pro Wrestling Week is now in the books. Hope everyone had a great time, especially if you were there in Los Angeles, or if you're like me and just watched everything from home. Maybe not everything, but I tried to watch as much as I could of all the events this past weekend. Hope everyone enjoyed WrestleMania nights 1 and night 2 and did live episodes Saturday and Sunday right after WrestleMania, or last night right after the press conference, I should say. And I know I kept last night a little short, was a little tired, but back this morning, and I'm sure everyone by now has heard the huge news, but just in case you haven't, it's being reported that in Denver, the company that owns UFC has now bought WWE and is going to merge WWE and UFC. Some people are saying that this has happened, and I haven't read every story just yet. And if it is, I don't know if they will say anything about it on Raw tonight. But I was just listening to Post Wrestling, their WrestleMania Night 2 post show from last night. They brought Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics on to discuss the news of the sale. And I know I saw this the other day in the news about Vince McMahon being a WWE employee once again, and this would mean with the sale, with the new buyers, that he would remain with the company. Now, I don't know too much about Denver, and actually I don't think I knew anything about them until the rumors of the sale started, and that people were talking about that they might want to buy WWE. I didn't even know that they were the ones that owned UFC. I don't know how that's going to work, merging WWE with UFC. I have said on the podcast many times, definitely not a fan of UFC or any kind of MMA for that matter. So I don't know what that would be, what that would mean for the company. So if the reports are true, WWE no longer a family-owned business. And I know that not too long ago, somebody from Denver said that they weren't really interested in it, but people said that didn't necessarily mean that they weren't going to buy it. Could have just been saying that. Now, I am definitely not an expert on business and money, things like that, buying companies. But unfortunately, I can't get Brandon Thurston on here to talk about it. So I listen to him on Post Wrestling and his shows, and his show that is on Sunday nights, WrestleNomics Radio. I definitely recommend listening to that if you never have before. It's a pretty good podcast about the business side of pro wrestling. Brandon usually breaks down like the business deals like this and the ratings. So now back to this sale. Who knows what it could mean for the future of WWE with when the TV rights deals are up, and would they stay with NBC Universal to keep Raw on USA and the Fox deal as well. And I know WWE's Peacock deal is still good for a while. And what could this mean for the premium live events? I know UFC is still, I know they're on ESPN Plus, their streaming thing, but what I understand is the deal they have that set up is where, yes, they are on that streaming service, but the pay-per-views you have to pay separate for, instead of just getting it included with your subscription, like how it is on Peacock and the WWE Network for only Peacock $7.99 or $9.99, whichever it is, and WWE Network everywhere else. Like when it first started, $9.99, people were surprised that not only like the B pay-per-views and stuff were going to be included on there, but WrestleMania as well, the biggest show of the whole year, you could be getting it for only $9.99. And I don't know. I've seen one headline. I haven't read this article just yet, but Vince McMahon commenting about it. I haven't read what he said just yet. Definitely gonna keep following it. If anything real major happens, I might come back for a special episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic to talk about this ongoing story of the WWE sale. And once again, I want to talk about the WrestleMania. It's a tough decision, but if I had to pick one of the nights I enjoyed more, I think I might, not by very much at all, but I think I might have to say that I may have enjoyed WrestleMania Saturday just a little more. And also part of it may have been by the time Sunday came along and trying to watch as much of the wrestling going on this weekend as I could, and staying up and doing the podcast after. I was a little tired, like I said, so that could have had a factor, but last night was also great as well. The main event, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, I'm seeing a lot of people are shocked about Cody Rhodes not winning the Undisputed Universal Championship. I can see why they would be, but personally, I'm going to say I'm shocked about it happening. I know why people say they expected Cody Rhodes to win. Him coming back to WWE a year ago, and then the whole thing with that injury, and then the comeback, having him win the Royal Rumble, and then to put him against Roman in the main event of WrestleMania, and then have him lose that main event. I could see why some people were actually surprised by it, but I wouldn't say really surprised. I was kind of actually expecting Roman to retain a little bit. I was kind of like half and half on it. But still a great night. And maybe the surprise match, which really shouldn't have been, because Clash at the Castle last year, Sheamus and Gunther had a great match, stole the show that night, and adding Drew McIntyre to it to make it a triple threat match, it made it even better. And great match. And I have definitely seen a lot of people saying they loved that match last night, and it definitely was a great match. So I would say, not just for WWE, but the last weekend and Thursday, Friday included, was a huge success for pro wrestling. And other than, I won't get into it, but other than one news story that broke on Saturday from WrestleCon, I'm sure everybody has heard about that. But other than that one thing, it was a pretty great weekend for pro wrestling. Hope everyone definitely had a great time, either watching it from home, or if you went to Los Angeles, we're at SoFi Stadium for WrestleMania, or if you went to any of the other shows, either Ring of Honor, Impact in New Japan, or NXT's Stand and Deliver, or any of the GCW collective shows. And also, I haven't finished it yet, but I have watched some of Dax Harwood FTR Live special. And getting here to work now, unfortunately, so I have to end the podcast now. Hope to be back soon, everyone. Like I said, if not promising, but if there is any major news to come out about the WWE sale, I might do an episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. So just stay tuned, just in case, to Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. And thank you for tuning in to this Monday episode. Tonight, Raw after Mania. Hope everyone has a great Monday, enjoys Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania. And now with this news, I don't know if it'll be mentioned on the broadcast tonight, but we will just have to wait and see what is next for the future of World Wrestling Entertainment. Until next time, there I go again. Keep watching pro wrestling.